What did I miss? There was like a time period between like 2011 and 2015 where some of the best games came out. And let's get into some of them and their studios that really hit me and what happened the next time those guys came out that really hit me. Crystal Dynamics, Tomb Raider. What is more iconic than Lara Croft? Let's be honest, guys. When they made that remake and revived that DOA franchise, we loved it. But you know what? So did Square Enix. And you know what Square Enix did? They said, you know what, guys? We got Marvel. You want to make Marvel Avengers? And I said, ooh, look at this trailer. Look at this trailer that Marvel Avengers has had on us. Marvel Avengers gave us the greatest movie series of all time for superheroes. I know I'm biased to the Superman. While we thought it was a good idea to make it microtransactional, the guys who made Tomb Raider, to give them the Marvel Avengers tag and have them make that game that came out after that trailer, after A-Day, after what we got, despicable. That was Crystal Dynamics' next at bat. That game did not last 1 year. We had a stupid claw raid full of bugs after bugs, because they didn't know how to make a game that lasts that long. They were good at the story experience of the game. That's what they were good at. This after effect of the game, player base went from 99% to 1. You lost 99% of the audience because they knew it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Anyway, yeah, that game dead and gone. So let's get to BioWare. You know where I'm going with this? Dragon Age Inquisition was a great game. Came out coming off of the momentum of the Dragon Age series. And you can be the inquisitor of your own world. Oh, it was great, man. And you can be stuck in the hinterlands for an infinite amount of time. But guess what? They said, you know what, we're going to make a Mass Effect game. That happened. But our next big foray is going to be Anthem. Anthem was like nothing they made before. Microtransactions in the multiplayer of Dragon Age Inquisition. They did not make nothing that was supposed to last that long. Some games should just have an end. I don't want to play your game in an infinite amount of times. Pay up front for an end. I will pay GTA more money if they promise me an end to their online game. You can still play it afterwards. There's like New Game Plus and everything, but just give me an end, man. Give me something to some closure on some of these characters that you made over 10 years. One Piece. Anyway, yeah, Anthem was a failure, man. What can I say? It was bad. And it got up out of here. You know, some people want to blame the fan base. I mean, we live in a society where we just want to blame the people other than who made the art and published it. But cool, whatever. Bethesda. Skyrim, the anniversary edition. Skyrim, the super anniversary edition. Skyrim, the mega anniversary edition. These games are synonymous with making the same game and repackaging it. Oblivion. But there was a game that came out that blew everything out the water in repackaging. And that was Fallout 76. And man, it was bad. It was bad when it came out. They made some changes to it. Try to make it better. But, you know, first impression is always, when it comes to multi-million-dollar video games, a first impression is always important. And that first impression made me not even want to touch Fallout. I like Fallout. I played Fallout. I'm not playing Fallout 76, brother. Microtransactional. And that was their first foray into it. That was their first way into the microtransactional foray. And let me tell you, it wasn't good. Then they come out with Enfield or Starfield or whatever. I was a disappointment. And I think Bethesda is only good at this point in repackaging Skyrim and Oblivion. So I think Morrowind's on the way soon. We should be getting that any time now. And yeah, we're gonna get that before Elder Scrolls 6. I hear the GTA jokes. Where is Elder Scrolls 6? We got a Elder Scrolls MMO before Elder Scrolls 6. Ridiculous. And then let me give you a good example of how you can make a mess up on your next at bat better. And that was CD Projekt Red's Witcher, right? Game of the year, great game. Everybody loved Geralt of Rivia, great RPG. And Cyberpunk was the next game they decided to make. Well, after the Gwent game, I think. And you know, it was good until you played it. Yeah, all the trailers are good. You know, everything leading up to it, amazing. I loved every second of it. But the actual game itself was bugged on arrival. Now, a lot of us in the gaming space want to blame not having the best hardware. I was still on PS4 because you could play games on the PS4. That game could not run on the PS4. Why? They thought it was a good idea to release it. And they made a quick resolution to that problem. You know what they decided to do? You know what they decided to do? They decided to take it off the game store. Yeah. Think of it in your Rolodex if you're familiar with PlayStation. When the last time you heard a game totally get taken off the game store? Recently. Concord? Yes, it was Concord level buggy. Bad, I should say. And if Concord is an example of how to not playing your game around a dumb idea at your at bat, I would have to say, making the Rocksteady Batman devs, I am aware it's different people because you flip over gaming studios, make Suicide Squad, which is the most sign of the times game I ever seen in my life. Sign of the times meaning DEI, the superheroes, the male superheroes being weak, the women empowerment. Listen, I have sisters. I have a mom. They're empowered. We don't need no more. Madam Web, I don't need no more, man. They're empowered enough, man. Storm already existed. Halle Berry played Storm in X-Men in the early 2000s. Not objectified one bit. Anyway, I feel like we're going backwards. Like we misremember stuff. Be like, man, we gotta fix everything. I mean, nothing was broken hardly. Just gotta do minor adjustments. Like, you know, just instead of doing this like this with that Weinstein guy, do that, you know? Like minor stuff, you know? Anyway, Batman is and forever will be one of the greatest video game trilogies of the all time. And Suicide Squad will forever be one of the worst waste of time in video game history. Microtransactions, the rise of microtransactions around this time period where Dragon Age, Tomb Raider, Skyrim, these good games came out. And I was watching Angry Joe review these great games, right? They have gotten so much worse. Is it because of the microtransactions? In a way, yes. Because if you have to adjust your game to make it a little worse, to make it make sense for microtransactions, it's bad. And I got a little bonus one for you. This situation, the only company that actually totally perished or almost on the verge of perishing because of this whole concept is Ubisoft. You remember the first Assassin's Creed game? It was good. Ezio Auditore after the first one was good. But then do you remember the time when they started putting microtransactions in the single player games? Downhill from there, folks. There's no coming back from that. You are done. You donezo, man. And yes, they release a bunch of games. Bro, you know Ubisoft released Steep? Do you know what Steep is? It's a snowboarding game. Riders Republic. They release all these games. I just don't even understand why. Well, maybe they were trying to get something to stick. And you know what? All of them had microtransactions. Not a single one didn't. So I realized the strategy while I'm here talking to you guys. You release so many mediocre games with microtransactions, somebody stupid enough will bite. It didn't work. I'm so glad it didn't work. I'm so glad they seem like a non-factor in the gaming space. Just get them up out of here. I don't want to see them no more, man. So we'll see what happening with a lot of the game studios at their next at bat. After a lot of this stuff has been eroding back, course correcting, Will you keep going down the same path, or will you try to listen to your audience a bit? Know who you're making things for? I doubt it, but as an eternal optimistic, I'm gonna hope for the best. I hope you guys too. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you disagree with anything I said, because I said a lot of things that I think are objectively true, opinionated true. I don't know what you call that. Y'all be easy. Yeah.